do you have to pay back the Help to Buy loan in one go? Or
No, not at all. You can repay half of it, all of it, up to a certain amount, depending on if you took the 40%, you can pay a specific amount back.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reside YouTube channel. Again, here with my fellow directors, Rav, Stephen, Darren and myself, David. We're going to be talking to you today about the Help to Buy loan and the repaying of it, which I sort of focused on selling a lot of Help to Buy loans at one of my previous companies. So it was quite a good initiative, but I don't know if people are aware of what happens after the 5 years. Steve, you've recently repaid your Help to Buy loan. Great time to do it with rates as they are at the moment. Do you want to just summarise what it is, how you do it? I mean, I'll start you off. Obviously, the Help to Buy loan in London, could take a full 40% interest-free loan for 5 years. Outside London, 20% for 5 years. And I think the important word there is an equity loan, isn't it? It's 40% of the value of the house.
Exactly, yeah. It's no more, so you can't take one out anymore. But those that have them, there's a lot of people I know that's coming to the end of their 5 year period. So you used to be able to take a Help to Buy loan, like David said, an equity loan of up to 40% inside of London and then 20% outside of London. The key word equity is it's based on the value of the property at the time that you buy it. And then when you come to repay it, it's based on the value of the property on that day as well. So it can go up, but it can also go down as well, depending on the market. My property went up a little bit, which isn't great. But
Humble brag.
Yeah, my property went up a little bit, which isn't great for me, but it is in a roundabout way. I remortgaged to repay the Help to Buy loan. It was quite a lengthy process, but that's, obviously we're here to help with all of that. Essentially, you have to get a valuation, a RICS approved Help to Buy valuation. That costs a couple £100, and that is valid for 3 months. So you need to line it all up perfectly with your mortgage ending, if you can. If not, there's some tips we've got for that as well. You get the valuation. That figure is the final valuation based on the equity loan repayment. You hope that your lender matches that valuation as well when they come to do their valuation. You go through the normal remortgage route, so the checks and the credit checks and the scores, etc. And then the legal work begins. So you're liable for the extra legal work as well. And all being well, once everything is offered and it goes through and lots of forms to fill in and things to pay, your Help to Buy loan is repaid.
And in terms of, from when I spoke to people, a lot of people had plans to just stay there for 5 years, sell it. It's simply a case of then if you sell it, you just pay back 40% of whatever the sale price is to the government. And then it's all cleared, isn't it?
Yeah, good point.
That's it.
Ducky, as someone who has recently paid off their Help to Buy equity loan, what is the process? Do you just want to give us a quick overview of the process to sort of, from your experience as a customer and a broker?
Yeah, of course. It's quite a lengthy process, so having a broker is half the battle. It makes it nice and easy. Essentially, you need to contact, on the government website, there's lots of information, really helpful information. You basically
We'll put a link in the video. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, so the first thing to do would be to liaise with your broker. Once you've had a chat with them and filled them in, then there's a few forms to fill in on the government website. And from there, you need to book yourself a Help to Buy approved valuation, so a RICS valuation, specifically a Help to Buy valuation. That's valid for 3 months as well, so timings are quite important.
With the valuation only being valid for three months, but you can remortgage sort of 6 months before your deal ends. So, for example, if someone's got their 5 year fixed rate that's ending at the end of September, realistically, they can't really start this until July, can they? July, August, September, to get that 3 month. Say, for example, if you've got a customer who's had that valuation done 3 months ago and that's run out, do they then have to pay for a new valuation?
Depends on who completed the valuation. There are some companies I know that will do like a refresh, so they'll just do a desktop valuation.
Okay.
Confirm no changes have happened to the property and the market valuation is still the same. Again, you're probably looking at another £100 or something, or a small charge with that company. But yeah, they can just do a refresh, but it depends who you had it done through. And then you can talk about products and remortgaging. If you're going to raise the funds to remortgage and clear it, there's a few things you need to do there. But yeah, your broker will be able to guide you through it. Having a decent solicitor as well is another big must, because they can make it so much easier. Obviously, you have to pay for those legal fees as well. Then once the offer's issued, it's just a case of waiting for all the legal work to be done. The solicitor will transfer the funds from the bank to clear the Help to Buy loan, and the land registry will be updated and the property's 100% yours.
Cool. Thanks, Steve.
That was a bit messy.
Just going to ask a few further questions there, if you don't mind. The first one, you said a RICS, Help to Buy survey. RICS, what is that?
The Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors.
Cool. So it has to be like a specific RICS qualification.
Yeah, exactly. It's all
They
they need to have the RICS qualification to satisfy the government's side of things.
In other words, it can't just be your estate agent that's coming to value the property.
Exactly.
Yeah, get your next door neighbour to do a valuation. And am I right in saying that their valuation is final in terms of that gets presented to Help to Buy,
That's it.
and you, whatever they say, you have to pay back 40% or 20% outside London? That's the figure you have to pay back.
Or whatever your equity loan was, yeah.
Cool. And then something interesting that you said there is about the lender. The lender will then also do a valuation.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can not be the same.
True, yeah. We've not experienced one yet.
Yeah.
But it can, potentially. You'd hope that they'll be exactly the same, but there is a chance.
Cool. Perfect. A couple more questions. Can you pay back? Do you have to pay back the Help to Buy loan in one go? Or
No, not at all. You can repay half of it, all of it, up to a certain amount, depending on if you took the 40%, you can pay a specific amount back. But then you are liable, and obviously if you don't repay it, you're liable for the interest payments on it each month, which is 1.75% of the equity loan you originally took over 12 months.
Isn't that plus RPI?
Yeah, RPI every year.
Yeah.
so this is what I think. Obviously, people, they probably was told at the beginning, but they might not be aware. If at the end of the 5 years, obviously you haven't paid back the Help to Buy loan, it's been interest free for that period, they're now going to start paying back the interest on that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Which is, again,
Just an interest payment as well, so it's not actually
It's not
coming
paying
off.
off the capital.
so yeah, this, and again, with obviously bills going up, mortgages going up, rates going up, electricity bills going up, to just get lumped with an extra payment is going to be sort of a bit of a shock to some people, I think.
Definitely.
So would you advise that, Rav, you can answer this one, would you say that it's something that you should be sort of working towards paying that off before that 5 year period ends?
Yeah, absolutely. You should always have had plan before you took the mortgage, or when you had the discussion around taking that mortgage. You should always have a goal in your head. When is it that you're looking to pay back?
Yeah.
And work towards it, whether that be savings or whether it be through via remortgage. But yeah, because after 5 years, it's 1.75 plus RPI, the rate, plus you are paying your mortgage rate on the borrowing that you took from the lender. So you could see a considerable jump in your monthly payments, which may not be affordable, right? Because when the lender gives you mortgage, they don't as such go as far as like what the rates would be in 5 years time.
No one knows today.
In terms of like mortgage rates, yes, but like we've seen, the RPI has gone up considerably in last 24 months, right? No one
Just
saw
what is
that.
what is RPI? 'Cause
RPI
obviously
is like a measure of how soon the prices are rising, which is called like retail price index.
Okay, cool.
It's kind of an indication of where the current level of inflation is, along with CPI, which is the consumer price index.
Cool, perfect.
I think just to add on to Rav's point, it's especially important to note that it is an interest-free loan.
Yeah.
You're going to
Absolutely.
only be paying interest only after the 5 year period. So you'd be silly not to add it to your mortgage, especially if you have long-term plans to stay in the property.
Yeah.
Because you adding it to the mortgage, and if your mortgage is on a repayment basis, you're now effectively paying it off.
Yeah.
In a way, and it's obviously spread over a 25-year term or a 35-year term or 30-year term, whatever term you decide to go for, you are effectively paying it off, rather than just making an interest-only payment.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always going to be in your benefit to add it to the mortgage.
You can add some savings to that as well if you do want to just clear it from your savings. If
Yeah.
you're lucky enough to have that much
Yeah, that'd be
cash,
nice.
you can just clear it.
I think it's quite important to sort of cover that. You don't have to wait until your mortgage is end. You can pay it off in increments. I think in London, if you take 40%, you can pay it off in sort of 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%.
Or whatever you
Or if it's outside of London, 10% and 20%. So it's if you've got a small chunk, it's always worth speaking to someone just to see if you can clear a small part of it within your 5-year fixed period. If you can do that every 2 years, and then at the end you've not got a bigger payment, have you?
And I think-
Sorry, Darren. No, go on, mate.
But no, I just think that's the importance of us as brokers
Yeah.
to get involved with discussions like this with people who have Help to Buy loans, because we're going to know lenders that are going to be happy with you clearing the 10% or the 20%.
Yeah.
There's going to be some lenders that will categorically say no, they will only help if you're looking to clear the whole Help to Buy
The whole
loan.
thing, yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
your standard person's probably not going to know that. So, you know,
Yeah.
speak to a broker for sure.
Perfect. And as always, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I think that's a wrap on that one, guys. So yeah, if you are in a position where you have a Help to Buy loan and you want to get some advice on paying it off, or you know you're coming to the end of the 5 years and you don't want to pay that interest payment, just get in touch and we'll sort you out.